how big a deal is this? I remember this was a story when Tesla was tussling with New Jersey as well.
Totally.
Right. Well, if everything's bigger in Texas, this is probably a big deal. I mean, this is the second biggest car market in America that is shut off to Tesla, and so it's not insignificant. And Texas is not alone. If you look at the map across the country of all the places that Teslas are unable to be sold to people who want to go buy a Tesla car, not only is it not a few places, but they're fairly populous states like Michigan, like Connecticut, like Arizona. So these are significant places in places that Tesla is sort of failing to lift the sales bans, and it's limiting the ability to sell Tesla. Why is, messing with Texas? I mean, the dealers, the existing dealers in Texas certainly have a lot of power in that state. But the bill has now failed to get any sort of traction there. It doesn't. They're not only are they going to be unable to sell them, they couldn't even get the bill introduced into both houses in Texas, and now they're done for the year. It's the second biggest auto market behind California, as I mentioned, and they've spent a lot of money on lobbyists there. Just in the fourth quarter alone, they spent over $150,000 on 20 lobbyists in Texas. So it wasn't for lack of trying that they couldn't get this through, even get a vote on it whatsoever.
Hey, Cory, so what's a workaround here? I mean, we can't assume that there's no Tesla in Texas.
Well, that's just the thing. So the bears look at this and say, hey, why isn't Tesla stock down when they're losing out in the second biggest market in America, their most important country, at least historically? The bulls look at this and say, hey, when the doors finally open in Texas, it'll be great for them. The problem with that is that Tesla themselves say that there are 2,500 people in Texas who bought Teslas in other states and driven them in or had them imported in some way. So there already are Teslas in Texas. It's not a virgin market to them, but it's a market that's hard for them to reach in size in any way as the Model S gets older and older and longer in the tooth.
I mean, certainly Tesla wants to change this, but to what extent does it really need to change this, given that so much of its growth, or what it wants to see the growth in, is overseas?
Yeah, overseas has been so important to Tesla in the last few quarters, particularly of all places, Norway. There have been tremendous incentives to buy in Norway, better parking places, fast lanes, but those incentives look like they're going to evaporate. Probably they may have already done so in April, maybe as late as May, because a certain number of electric vehicles were going to be get these benefits, and it looks like Norway's already imported that many cars. So the growth rate for Tesla, which was boosted by these kinds of things, has really come off a lot, growing only at 2% sequentially. So they sold more cars last quarter than ever before, but only 2% more, and not their inability to break into new markets, the disappearing of subsidies in foreign markets, it could have a serious impact on Tesla going forward.